ones that we have experienced, like the ones that you're tasting, they're really, really good. And a lot of times it's just not an industry that people kind of expect us to be in. However, wine is cooking. You know, when you make it, you got to cook. So they really are great at like bringing the tannins, the flavors, the fruit, to kind of do something that's unique, that kind of has like a signature style on it.
Give me a quick tour. Here we go. So the signature on that bottle, you can recognize Charles Woodson, Michigan Wolverine, longtime NFL great, soon to be a Hall of Fame player, I'm
Right,
sure.
I'm sure. If
So
not now.
everyone knows Charles Woodson, but I didn't know he made wine. Tell me about this.
Well, which probably was a natural course. You know, Charles Woodson played for the Oakland Raiders. Al Davis, who's the owner of the Oakland Raiders, is big in Napa in terms of making wine. He's one of several players that have branched off into the winemaking. His wine is really good. He has a renowned winemaker that he works side by side with. He wasn't allowed to promote it a lot in the NFL. It's been around for almost 10 years because of the policies.
Is that right?
Right.
He's been making wine for 10 years.
Yep.
Look, I just tasted it. There's a craftsmanship behind it. It's quality wine.
Exactly, it is. And the cab is tremendous. So, which we get a lot of play on. And I tell people all the time, you know, it's great to get it because it's Charles Woodson, but when you taste it, you actually enjoy it. So.
Absolutely. How about here, Brown Estate? Tell me about Brown Estate.
Brown Estate is probably one of my favorite vineyards. They are out of Napa Valley. They're one of the first African-American owned winemakers in the States out of Napa Valley. They have one of probably the renowned variety of grapes that they're doing. They have a cab. They have a Zinfandel, which is their signature. They do a rosé. They do a Sauvignon Blanc. The one that we paired here was the Zinfandel.
The Zinfandel
Right.
is surprising. It's bright. It's not sweet. It's terrific.
Right. So one of the reasons why I picked this to go with this is because one, most people kind of want to tie the kind of shrimp and Cornish hens with white wines because it's a you know, white meat, chicken, fish is white meat. And one of the things that the Zinfandel will allow you to do, Zinfandel will allow you to pair with wines, foods that are technically people will think ordinarily would go with whites, but because of the soulful style cooking of it with the seasons and the tannins and the oils, where to me kind of soulful can kind of capture some of the Italian style of cooking, the Zinfandel is perfect to kind of tie into those seasons.
How about this last one here? It says New Zealand, but this is also an African-American vineyard.
Right. So the McBride sisters, actually, they would be in a store February 27th. They're unique. One was born in New Zealand, the other one was born in Oakland, California, and they met basically on their father's deathbed.
Is that right? What a story.
Right, a story. So they're actually going to be in the store on the February 27th, and for wine and appetizers to talk about their brand.
About their brand and probably talk about their life story.
Exactly. So,
what do you like about their craftsmanship with their wine?
Well, this here is that New Zealand style spitzer that we like. So sometimes when you're doing it with a heavy dessert like this, it kind of really complements it. Rosé is one of those funny different type of wines because you could actually do as a way to cleanse your palate when you start eating a meal, and then also too you can also pair it with a dessert. In the end, if the dessert is like very, very heavy, such as this. So this is baked, it got a little rum in it, it has, you know, caramel. So this kind of complements it and not overstays it. Well, Last Sunday Suppers is about a few things. One, it's an opportunity for women, minority chefs who have a lot of talent, doesn't have an opportunity to express themselves. We have a residential chef that we have in our store named Cedric Andrews, and he basically helps spearhead the program. And then we bring in people like Chef Max to cook as well, and to kind of you know, work as the first chef, and Cedric is the second. So last month Cedric was the lead, and next month Cedric would be the lead.
That's terrific. So you sign up, you get a reservation, come in, you're pairing the wines with the chef's menu.
Right. So what we do is we don't like to get into chef's creativity. So we kind of basically tell them, hey, you tell us what you want to do. And then our job is to go out and find the wines to go with it.
So, I mean, a lot of times when I'm cooking, I'd like to take vigorous, a lot of fusion cooking, and so can't you ask me my style? It is more fusion, kind of merging different cuisines and ingredients together, a lot of Asian and Caribbean influence, and bringing the essentials of culinary together with a lot of European and French cooking, but also merging in some of those great flavors of the Caribbean, great flavors of Africa, and so forth. So that's kind of how I do it. Well, I think it's a great opportunity to showcase my food, but it also showcase wineries that's owned by African Americans. I think when you think of wines, you don't really think of African Americans. So being that it's Black History Month, is only right and to pair it with African American wineries. So I think it gives them a nice little highlight of what they do and the balance and flavors that they bring. And I'm sure, I haven't talked to a lot of Black wineries, but I'm sure there's a similarities between soul food and their winery and how they make them, because it is cooking at the end of the day. So it's just an honor and pleasure to bring them together.